Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of The Beachcomber by Ines Thorn, translated by Kate Northrup, performed by Nicol Zanzarella. Part 1. Prologue. The North Frisian Island of Sylt, 1711. Autumn had begun. The sailors' wives stood on the dunes at dawn, watching for the Dutch smocks, the coastal transport ships from Amsterdam and Hamburg carrying those men who had been aboard the whaling ships, husbands, brothers, lovers, and fathers. They had left Sylt in February on Patriotag, St. Peter's Day, after the Beachcomber festival, and had sailed all spring and summer as far as Spitsbergen and Greenland searching for whales. They had braved storms and drift ice. They had hunted the enormous creatures in small rowboats, risking their lives to cast harpoons at the behemoths. They had towed the slain whales back to the mothership, balancing precariously on top of the creatures' carcasses to cut away the blubber. They had sweat, laughed, cursed, endured freezing temperatures, and now they were elated to be coming home at last. There was a buoyant, joyful atmosphere on board the smocks. The men had money in their pockets, and their sea chests were full of gifts, and they were looking forward to spending the winter by warm hearths with their wives and children. At least that's what the women waiting on the dunes hoped. Some had Bibles in their pockets or clutched little wooden crosses for luck. None of them knew if their man would be among those coming home. If 100 men left in February, perhaps only 70 would return, and every woman dreaded the thought that she might have a funeral to plan. The storm, heralded by powerful swaths of sheet lightning earlier that day, was tearing over the island. Wind swept sand into the air and flattened the dune grass. The swells were topped with seething whitecaps and raced toward the beach, throwing huge breakers past the high tide line and up to the fishing boats tied with pegs and lines at the foot of the dunes. By twilight, the wind moaned so loudly that it drowned out every other sound in the village. Nils Taken, the beach overseer of Rantum, pulled on his oilskins and a worn sealskin cap. He put a piece of bread and an apple in his pocket and walked to his neighbor's house. "It's going to be bad," he told his neighbor, looking with concern at the sky. "2 men should keep watch on the dunes tonight." Everett scratched his chin. "Won't be any pleasure in it," he grumbled. "It's cold, wet, and dark. And my wife is soft and warm."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?